Right, first fix electrics, all in, all marked up, all hanging loose in the makeshift little harness I've made. The next thing I normally do, because the weather is not too bad today, we've had 3 days of sunshine, so the threat of a hosepipe ban is off. I'm going to put the solar panel on the roof. The one I bought is about 110 watt kit. I buy the same one all the time of Amazon, and I'm going to put that in now. I've put the brackets on the side, I've placed it on the roof, I've done my measurements, I've got it all square. I'm going to show you what I do. And once I'm happy in this position, I'm going to get a Sharpie somewhere, and I'm going to put some marks on it. We're going to drill it where the holes need to be. We're going to put some paint on so it doesn't rust, and we're going to fold it to the ceiling and get that fastened up, so that's another outside job out the way. So we'll go on the roof and have a look. Right, so I don't know if you can see there, but anyway, that's why I only put them. Yeah. So I'm going to try and do this with one hand. So I've measured it, I've got it where it needs to be, and what I normally do is get a Sharpie. The brackets have pre-drilled holes, and I'm going to go around and mark all the holes. And take on that side. Oh Jesus, I've knocked it. That wasn't part of the plan. Right, let's start again. So, Sharpie hole, Sharpie hole. I'm going to go around the other side, mark them, but I'm not going to show you that because it means getting up and down on the ladder. So I'll mark them, I'm going to drill them. So all I've done is use a pilot drill when my black marks are, and I've went around my stepper drill, bigger holes. Don't press it too well, it's quite flimsy. And all I'm going to use is the stainless steel bolts, and that'll clamp it down. So I'll do the rest and I'll bring it back in. Right, I've drilled my holes. We're back in the van there. Can you see them there? Yeah. 2 there, 2 across the other side, and some at the back. So what I'm going to use now, I've got some touch-up paint here. I'm going to get back on the roof, and what I like to do is just, because obviously we've drilled bare metal there, it's just protecting them from the elements. So I just put a bit of touch-up paint on them, have a cup of tea, give it half an hour, and then we can put the panel back on the roof. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. Right, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I've cleaned all the metal filings off, so all I'm going to do, doesn't look too pretty, just go around all the holes, give it a little protection, then we'll mount the roof on. While I'm up here, I'm going to show you what I do, because these cables here going through the roof and the pre-drilled hole, show you what I usually do, because I put the cables in a few days ago. I normally just protect them from the elements by putting some tape on, because usually a couple of days after before I get the panel on. Right, solar panel prep. This is what I'm going to use. These are dome-headed stainless steel screws, spring washers, flat washers, 10mm nuts. So while the roof's drying, there's our brackets. Yeah, so I'm just going to put my spanner on the back, ratchet on the front, tighten them up. So these brackets come with the panel as well as the bolts. You don't have to over tighten them. It's only soft aluminium. Right, connection cables. They're self-explanatory. You see them there? Male and female, red and blue. Can't go wrong. Right, let's jump on the roof. and let's get this mounted.
Right, so all I'm going to do here, I'm just feeding the cables through. I try not to have the cables too tight, and I'm lining up my pre-drilled holes. So once I've got it, I'm just going to use my stainless steel bolts with a spring washer on, and I'm just going to dry fit them. I don't force them all the way home. As you can see, I cocked one up, but I didn't know at the time. So I'm just going on the inside, just having a check, and getting some more bolts for the other side. So the plan of attack really is to get this fastened on. What I use is stick saw. It's about £6 a tube. Don't use the cheap silicone that you can get because it just peels off. This is about £6 a tube and it serves me well. You can use a CT one, but that's about £13 a tube. It's quite expensive, but this is a cheaper alternative. So same again, I'm just putting the bolts in because obviously I knocked it earlier and the holes may be slightly out of true. So I'm going to go around the other side now, and same again, I'm just going to drop them stainless steel bolts in. I always try to use stainless steel bolts on the outside so they don't corrode. I'm not a cheapskate and just put any old mild steel bolts in, because within weeks they just end up rusting and it looks a mess. You just get brown stains on your roof. Now I intend to sell this van on, so it's important I put a bit of quality along the way. Fortunately, these bolts I've upcycled from the inside. Had all them PVC panels on the inside. I kept them all with the view to do this.
Right, let's get these tightened up. I mean, they'll probably spin on the top, so I may have to put an Allen key up there. Oh, it's catching. To stop the whole thing spinning. If I had a grandma's assistant, it could have been on the roof in hold. So what I'll do is, I've got some more round keys. I'll put an Allen key up there on the bolt head. I'll put some tape on it to stop it spinning, and that should just be enough for me to tighten these up. Have I got my microphone on? Probably not. Yes, I have. Yeah, so you hang fire, keep an eye on things, and I'll be back in a second. Right, let's give it a try. It always looks easy on YouTube, doesn't it? But in reality, it isn't. But you just got to be persistent, patient. No, I need to replace that bolt. Now don't worry, M2's done, so the front four done, that's done, that's done, so there's just one bolt, so I'm not going to bore you with that, and I'll show you what I do next, after I replace this bolt. Right, that's the solar panel bolt on. I've replaced that dodgy bolt, there's my silicone just sneaking out there, yeah. Two at the back, two at the front. So let's go inside, and I'm going to show you something that's extremely important. So there are two cables coming in, obviously. This is the reason why we've left it slack, so you can pull the excess. So it's going down there, it's going down the post, coming out there. Now, very important. Are you listening? Good. These are my cables. These are now live. Well, the red's now live. Yeah, and I'll prove that to you. So it's very important that during your build, because obviously the sunshine, it's now producing electricity because it's wired up on the roof. But I need to insulate these. But I'm just going to check on my meter that the panel actually works. Right, so we've got 21 volts coming in now. Yeah, can you see that? 21.8, and hold on. Yeah. 21 volts is quite low, but it is enough to start a fire. So what I'm going to do, I always err on the side of caution, and I'm going to insulate both of them. Don't even say the negative, but certainly the positive. So I'm going to insulate that now because we need to be safe. So, just a quick recap. Solar panels now on the roof, all bolted down, all sealed up. There's the cables coming in. I'm going to have a quick brew and I'm going to push these further through, tidy them up. So that's the reason why I leave all these slack, so you can pull. Yeah, there's the other bolts. So, solar panels on. Right, next task is we're going to put the roof vent on and we're going to put the 240 hook up. And I'm going to show you how I do that. The first fix, 12 volt, is just about finished. I've got some new cable there because I ran out. But we'll have a look and I'll show you what I do. So there's my Arctic cable. I'm going to pop a hole in here. And that's going to be my 240 hookup. I always use Arctic cable, and obviously it comes up through the post, through a pre-drilled hole at the top. We've left all the excess because you know how much you need. Right, this originally had a 12 volt fan in the roof, but I've already taken it down, most of it. I'm not showing a process. What I'll do is now I'll show you what I'm going to put in. So there is our roof vent stroke fan. This particular fan, if I can get it up the shroud, switch, so it draws air in and draws air out, as well as the lid lifting up and down. So we're going to pop that in today because the weather looks alright, so we'll get that fastened down and sealed up. And the other task that I mentioned earlier is the 240 hookup. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to pop a hole in the side of the van, and that's going to live in there. Right, I've marked out my roof, masking tape. I also like to put some masking tape on the base of the jigsaw because metal filings can scratch all the paintwork. I mean, yes, it's going to be on the roof, but I'm a bit of a fanny like that, so I just put some masking tape on there to protect it. Now, usually, but not always, the box that these come in usually have a template, but this one hasn't, but it's no big deal. So that's my biggest measurement, 34.5 centimetres. It's actually 34.5 centimetres square with the corners rounded off. Yeah, it's actually 34.2, but I like to give it a couple of mil because you know the blade can run off. So I'll show you what I've done. So there's the hole that was already in, masking tape all the way around, black Sharpie line is what I need to cut now. I'm happy that there's nothing on the inside that's going to get damaged. Measure once, measure twice, all the rest of it. This is just the old practice of the old one. I'm not there's no need to take that, it's going to come off because my cut is going to come across here. So I'm happy there's nothing in the way that's going to get damaged. So I'm going to cut that and I'll show you what I've got. Right, the vent hole's cut in. I'll give the roof a bit of a clean off. We're going to try this vent in now for the first time, just a dry fit to see whether it fits or not. If it does, we're going to glue it and screw it in. Oh, that's quite bright, that sun now, isn't it? 4 days of sunshine will be a hosepipe ban. So there's my hole in the roof. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Yeah. So I'll take the tape off, clean all this crap off, glue it and screw it, and the sunshine on the day will help dry it out. So that's that done. Let me get it screwed down, glued down, we'll come back. Right, so all I've done here is I've just dressed up the edge of that cut here because it's quite sharp with the file, and I've just gone around with some aluminium oxide undercoat in a rattle can just to give that edge a bit of protection. I've got a bit of panel white on an old cloth there just to add the excess off. Same again, I'm using stick saw here. I really am being really generous
get it all in there. Don't be shy with it, because you've only got one chance of this. I don't want to be messing about with back and forwards. You know, this is where you need to clag it on. It's going to look a mess, but it cleans it all off. So again, I'm going to drop it in, and I'm just going to sit flush. I'm happy where it is. So I've got my screws, I've got my cups. Now these screws have got a little self-tapping cutter on the end, so I just screw them straight in the aluminium. I'm not one of these ones that puts a big massive wooden frame on the inside and all that carry on. Absolutely no need for that. So I've been round, all I'm doing is filling me screw heads with some silicone, and I'm putting the white caps on. I finish off with a nice silicone bead all the way around, clean it all up. When I've seen a lot of them and they just look a mess, I like to build a bit of quality into it. Nice and clean. So that's that done.
Right, had a quick break, quick coffee. So the roof vent's on, that's all sealed, that's drying there nicely. So the next little job of the day is to pop a hole in the side of the van for the 240 hookup. Now, I've just had a quick break and I've been looking back at some of the footage. Apologies if you hear a lot of me huffing and puffing and blowing, because the mic's quite close to my mouth and I'm probably a bit overweight as well, so apologies if you hear all the huffing and puffing. So we're going to pop a hole in now and I'm going to show you how I do it. Right, I've got the camera set outside the van. We're going to pop a hole in here. Now, what you've got to be careful of is, that's the outside skin, this is the inside skin. So I've only got a depth of 92 mil. So the box that I've got, if you can see there, 86 mil. So by the time I get the box in, this should be behind this pannier. Excuse me. So it's going to live about there. So I'm going to pop a little pilot hole in first, and then we're going to mark the outside. I think you can see that there. Right. So that's the centre point. Yeah. So there's the centre there. So I'm now going to tape this up, and we're going to cut a hole to cater for that, for this thing here. Fortunately, the packaging to come in, it's got a little cardboard template. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to mark it up and I'll show you in a second. There's the pilot hole through from the inside. There's my cardboard template cut out, taped it on. I've stood back, make sure it's level. So all I'm going to do is get my Sharpie. Apologies for the shaking camera. So that's what I'm going to cut out. Yeah, so I'm going to pull this off. Right, that's in. I'm happy with that. I'll take it out now, and what I'll do is I'll prep up that hole, freshen it up, dress it up, put some paint on the bare metal. We'll wire it in and I'll show you what it will look like. So I'll take the outside first. Yeah, so all I've done is put some masking tape around to protect the metalwork. I'm happy with that once that goes in there. If I can get it open. I think it could go and come with the right a little bit, but yeah,